Good morning. My name is Kaylin Ingram, and it's safe to say that Maya Gurley is one of the most interesting people you will ever meet. Whether it's her collection of Birkenstocks, her abundance of cats, or her slightly emo middle school phase, she will always keep you on your toes. Speaking of middle school, Maya, we did not forget your Dylan O'Brien obsession. For as long as I've known Maya, she has always been willing to give great advice, help with homework, and have a good time. Maya is loyal, genuine, and hilarious in that dry, sarcastic kind of way. This would not be a proper Maya Gurley introduction if I did not talk about her most prominent physical feature, her luscious red hair. Maya's hair represents her own personality, rare, exuberant, and beautiful. Overall, I'm honored to call Maya a friend. I know she is going to do amazing things next year in college and beyond, so without further ado, turn on your listening ears for Maya Ray Gurley.
As some of you may know, part-time I live in the woods. My mom's house was built about half a mile into the woods of Eads, Tennessee around 25 years ago, modeled after the governor's mansion in Virginia. Once upon a time, it was a very nice house, I'm sure. However, when my mom took my sisters and me to tour the house nearly 5 years ago, it looked like something straight out of a horror film. It was a dreary, chilly, overcast winter day. Ivy and weeds consumed the front yard and creeped up the sides of the house, making it extremely difficult to enter in the first place. There was no furniture, no power, no water. Floorboards were ripped up, holes punched in the walls, the mirrors were cracked, every window shattered, glass covered the floor, and mysterious stains covered the walls. When I looked at this place, I did not see a home, nonetheless an inhabitable space for a human being. To be honest, my angsty teen self kind of hated it, a lot. But apparently my mother did not feel the same way, and she bought the house. The first multitude of months moving out of my childhood home were rough. Firstly, my entire life had pretty much only ever resided within a 15-minute radius from East Memphis to Midtown, and this house was a good 30 minutes in the opposite direction. Not to mention I was in 8th grade and therefore could not drive at the time. Secondly, our former house sold much quicker than the new house could be prepared, so whenever I wasn't at my dad's, I was sleeping on an air mattress or couch in my grandfather's living room. Then when we finally were able to move into the new house, resources were limited. Makeshift furniture was minimal and most meals were microwaved. This is only the tip of the iceberg that is the changes I experienced throughout my middle and high school years. All this change, topped off with an overwhelming amount of hormones, made me quite the angry tween, who was surely not a delight to be around. I refused to believe that my parents were just trying their hardest, or that anything in this new life of mine could be good, or that there was anyone who cared at all what I was feeling. I let all of these negative thoughts and many more consume my every waking moment. That house was not a home to me because I was making sure it wouldn't be. Nevertheless, as I got older, as we decorated the house with furniture, as I learned to drive, I began to let go of that anger. Eventually, what was once hate turned to tolerance, tolerance turned to like, then like turned to love. I love my house now. It's actually really beautiful. The vast natural scenery that surrounds the house no longer makes me feel lonely and small, but comforted and peaceful. My room, which once consisted of a bed and thin sheets tacked to the window frames, now has mirrors and a rug and music and candles and shelves and books. The once dull and static air is now flowing full of life, and the walls run thick with some of my greatest memories. As I made the house more me, it made me more it. And over time, as I continued to grow and change, my home changed too. At the beginning, my house was unwelcoming, cold, and hollow, and so was I. But slowly, as the house got older, as new people were brought into it, as more memories filled it, as it was decorated with items unique to its personality, it became warm and inviting and lovable. And as I have gotten older, as I have developed more intentional relationships, as I have had more experiences and made more memories, as I have learned to surround myself with the things that make me happy, I have become more warm, pleasant, and genuine as well. Sure, it's still a creepy-looking house in the middle of the woods, and sure, I have to drive 35 minutes just to see my best friends, but no house, no person is perfect. An amazing house can always use improvements, a painted wall, or a fixed chip in the wood, but it's still an amazing house. I still have issues I need to work on that I will probably be working on for the rest of my life, but that does not discredit how far I have come. And I can guarantee you I am gladly not the same person I was in 8th grade. Everyone here, the class of 2021 especially, is an amazing house. All of you, despite your obstacles, have come so far in the 15 years that I have been here. And when you're surrounded by so many incredible people, it can be hard just to see how incredible you are yourself. So as we get ready to graduate and leave in the fall, I urge you to look back at what you've accomplished, how far you've come, what you've overcome, who you are today, and be proud. Thank you.